Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and this is more news of the day. This is the news for the first day of October 2022. Now, try to pop my thumb there, get the pop and crack. There we go. Release some of that pressure. Anyway, let's start off here. We'll move this down the line here. All right, we're going to start off with some U.S. news. Matt Gaetz votes against disaster relief days after Hurricane Ian hits. I mean, why would you be so petty? See what it says. One of many Republicans to vote against a stopgap measure that would continue funding the government and provide billions of dollars in extra disaster assistance. The only reason they did that, I've heard this as a discussion point, they know that Congress doesn't reconvene until after the midterms. So essentially, he and other Republicans don't care about other states, people's lives, just about winning political races. House of Representatives approved a continuing resolution on Friday, giving the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, the ability to spend through the Disaster Relief Fund, freeing up $15 million more in aid for disaster relief. Only 10 Republicans voted for the measure 2 days after a Category 4 hurricane, more or less a Category 5, it was only off by a degree or two of wind, barreled through Florida, killing dozens and causing billions in economic damage. Gaetz indicated he'd vote against funding to benefit government agencies earlier this week. That shows you don't care about the American people, just about your political aspirations. That's it. Period. If you don't care enough about the people to vote to help them, you don't deserve to be in office. I mean, quite frankly, that's how I feel about the matter. Going on to another story. This is from the Daily Beast. Marjorie Taylor Greene says Democrats have already started the killings of Republicans. What? Let's read into this, find out what the hell she's talking about. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene accused Democrats of murdering Republicans in killings that the lawmaker claims are underway. I am not going to mince words with you all, Greene said at Donald Trump's rally in Warren, Michigan on Saturday night. Democrats want Republicans dead, and they have already started the killings. To support her claim, Greene cited a recent North Dakota crime story about an intoxicated man who allegedly had a political argument with a pedestrian, hit the pedestrian with a car, and later claimed the pedestrian was part of a Republican extremist group. according to court documents. So she takes one incident and proclaims, "This is proof the Democrats are on a killing spree." How did this woman get into office? Really, how? Georgia, what? Why? Why would you elect this idiot? She is so much a buffoon. It's I don't know what else to say on that. Next story, we're going international now. Protesters rally across Iran in the third week of unrest over Amini's death. So yeah, if you haven't been keeping up with this story, a woman named Nasa Amini was basically arrested by Iran's morality police, where she died in their custody. So they're all because she was protesting for the right not to have to wear a hijab if she did not wish to do so. Yeah. Protesters rallied across Iran and strikes were reported throughout the country's Kurdish region on Saturday as demonstrations ignited by the death of a woman in police custody entered their third week. So this has been going on 3 weeks now, people. You could give women a little more leeway. It won't hurt you. If you have problems with the fact that they're showing their hair, that it's too much of a sexual push for you, you have the issue, not the women. That's not their fault. It's your fault. Anyway, next story. This is from Fox News. A leftist victory in Brazil's election could be the lifeline Cuba and Venezuela need right now. I would love to see Lula da Silva win. That's one thing I want to really happen. I hope he crushes Bolsonaro. But let's look here. While Brazil's perennial leftist leader Lula da Silva may enjoy the support of the majority of Brazil's artistic community, incumbent President Jair Bolsonaro scored a major coup this week, receiving the public endorsement from the nation's biggest soccer star, Neymar. Okay. In a video posted to Twitter, the goal scoring legend danced and sang along to a Bolsonaro campaign jingle proclaiming, "Vote now and confirm 22 is Bolsonaro." Yeah, Bolsonaro's struggling. We know that Lula has already hit right around the 50 to 51 percentage, which that means if he stays at that level or goes higher, there will be no runoff. Lula will be your next leader of Brazil, which, again, he was wrongly imprisoned. I hope to see him in power. But yeah. Now, some more of the Ukraine-Russia war news. South Korea does not recognize Russia's annexation of Ukrainian territory. A number of countries have already said they do not recognize the annexation. I think that the U.S. may have already made it clear they do not as well. So, yeah. Russia is looking more and more like they are, well, as they are, just being a plain old invader. They are attacking and illegally trying to take territory from Ukraine. I don't care what size you were before, where your ancient Russian Empire, your USSR borders were. This is a different era. Ukraine has sovereign rights and you keep invading them. You're not some liberator, you're an invader. And another story from the Ukraine Russia headline. Russian officials furious as Moscow forced to withdraw troops from a key Ukrainian city. This is from SMH. It's an Australian site. I don't know what the full name is. Sydney Morning Herald. Okay. After being encircled by Ukrainian forces, Russia has pulled out from eastern Ukrainian city of Lyman in a fresh victory during a Ukrainian counteroffensive that has humiliated and angered the Kremlin. Moscow's withdrawal from the front line hub prompted immediate criticism with some Russian officials. The leader of Chechnya, Ramzan Kadyrov, blamed the retreat without evidence on one Russian general being covered up for by higher-ups in the general staff. He called for more drastic measures, including the use of low-yield nuclear weapons. That's a dangerous game to play. It could mean a horrible end for everybody, because that ratchets up the war if you use nuclear weapons. Because, make no mistake, the U.S. very well may retaliate with nuclear weapons back, seeing it as a breach of conduct in warfare. And I know Russia will push back with their own nuclear weapons, so that's leading us down a dangerous road that we haven't seen since the 50s and 60s and early 70s, where nuclear tensions between the US and USSR were at their height. All because Putin can't can't bear the fact that he's not winning. He's unable to uh, to defeat Ukraine. Take the L, Putin. Back out and leave Ukraine alone. You already got the Crimea Peninsula, which was illegally taken as well. This just sets a bad precedent. Of course, you don't want to just give Russia the territory of Donetsk and essentially the Donbass region, where they had the sham elections. No, they weren't fair elections. They were sham. They were fake. Just like the elections they proclaimed they had in Crimea. And if you just hand over territory to them, that sets a bad precedent as well. Like Neville Chamberlain and his policy of appeasement to Hitler. Putin should just back down, or things are going to get heated beyond a level that is going to be tough to come down from. He's pushed himself into a corner. Even China is hesitant to back him fully. He's in Russia's in trouble with Putin at the head. He needs to just back down. But that'll be the end of this episode. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.